Well, hey there, my friends. I'm live, and for a few things, got some good news. First of all, I don't know if you noticed, but I'm not wearing my nasal cannula because I've gotten much better with my breathing. Don't need to have the oxygen all the time. Uh, Sometimes when I'm out and about is when I need it, and especially now with the fact that we're having wildfires and the smoke is in the air, it's helpful. But my lungs have gotten better. Uh, one of the reasons why I was on it to begin with is I had suffered a stroke uh, not too long ago, and it left my left side of my diaphragm partially paralyzed, so my left lung was not inflating all the way, uh, which sucks because uh, those little machines, the portable machines, are expensive. And since I'm only on Medicaid, if I'm not on Medicare, I a lot of things I don't qualify for. So so I'm able to breathe without it, be able to get the full oxygen. I do use occasionally my oximeter to double check to see how well I'm doing. and sometimes I do need to put my oxygen back on, but that's okay. It's not it. I don't have to use it all the time, which is awesome. The other good news is I don't know if some of you who are my closest friends and family know that I've suffered with depression and anxiety for years. I had some childhood trauma that have carried over and leached into my adult life and have caused me some issues. But as far as the anxiety, it was funny. The thing that cured me is when I was in the hospital for a number of months. Um, the anxiety was more of like agoraphobia, a fear of going outside, a fear. Well, let me tell you, it's an irrational fear. When I went to the hospital, I was 401 pounds, and my fear is that I would be kidnapped for some ungodly reason. I don't know why. I just always had the sense of when I was out in public that I was going to be attacked. Well, when I go out in the public, I don't look like I have money because I don't. And anyone knows, I guess, anyone who rides the bus, it's like, if the guy rides a bus, he doesn't have money. So, but when I was in the hospital, I was forced to be inside. I mean, I had no choice but to be inside. I couldn't go anywhere. And at the time, physically, I really couldn't even move around. I could barely get up and go to the bathroom because of my health, and the support with my back and my core muscles weren't strong enough to help me get around. So, it was difficult, but I had a window that opened up, or not opened up, but looked out onto Spokane. It was a westward facing window. And what was nice is that, well, to give you a comparison, I don't know if you can see it or not, but my window, that's my view. So I don't get to see much of the outside world. I just get to see a brick building, and that's it. But oops. But at the hospital, because it was a westward facing window, I got to see Spokane. I got to see a storm roll in and roll out. I got to see the planes that were coming in and out from the airport come in. And so I got to see the world. I got to see outside. And the more I saw it, I wanted to be out in it. And just being out there, or being confined to my hospital room, it's kind of like, it's like being stubborn. It's like, you tell someone that they can't do something, and they'll want to do it, even though it might harm them. So like being in the hospital is like telling me, Mr. Reyes, you can't go outside. We're not going to allow you to go outside and enjoy the sunshine and the breeze and everything like that. You just can't go outside. So it was like, it kind of felt like that. It was so confining, because I couldn't go out, that it cured me of, wanting to go outside. And then later, thinking about it now, I have to laugh, because thinking about it, I was 401 pounds when I went to the hospital. And if I were going to be kidnapped, I mean, first of all, it had to be a bunch of burly, big guys. And if the van, it would have to be like, an armored truck, or a big, something with big, heavy suspension, to drag my fat ass into, to take me away. And besides, who's going to take me? I don't have any money. I just have friends and family, and stuff like that. So who's going to take me? I'm not famous or anything. I don't have anyone who has lots of money, and no, and even if I did, if I had lots of money, I definitely would, have, live in an area where I'd be protected, so that's helped. So, and then my depression is relieved. I mean, I was on medication that it relieved me of being depressed, but it also relieved me of feeling. And it got to a point where I just got tired of not feeling, not being able to laugh at a comedy, just, being like, oh, okay, that's funny, but able to laugh out loud, to be able to just experience, my emotions. I know I posted recently on Facebook 2 movies that I watched that Will Smith had done, and very poignant, very emotional movies, and they touched me. And a couple of spots I actually shed a tear, because they were that good of a strong feeling type of a movie, and I shed a tear. I enjoyed the emotional roller coaster of the movie, and it doesn't affect me. I'm good. There's no lingering effects of watching someone go through what that movie went through. So it feels good. It feels good to be able to have full emotions. And so, like today, like I said, today was my last therapy session with my therapist, the emotional therapy, the psychological, with my therapist. Her name's Jacqueline, and probably one of the best therapists that I've had in a long time. Someone who I can actually consider a friend, and it was neat to, after all this long time of COVID and us doing what do you call that, Zoom, for our appointment meetings. I actually got to see her for the first time today, because of restrictions being lifted and whatnot. So it was neat to see her, and it was neat to see her for the first time, and it was nice to be out in public for the first time, being able to feel the sun, the warmth of the sun on my face, was just exhilarating, and which is nice. And like I said, coming from being agoraphobic and having the fear of going outside, and now enjoying being able to go outside, to going downstairs to our lobby and enjoying the company of our other residents and stuff like that is pretty cool. But one of the things that my therapist, Jackie, had given me as kind of like a going away present, or These little bottles of bubbles, you know, to be able to blow, little bubbles and stuff like that to, just to enjoy life. And then she gave me, and this really is, this means a lot to me. And she gave me this little coin, and it's a Native American symbol. I don't know if you can see that, but it's an eagle. And which is interesting because what it says is that that the symbol represents courage, and which is how she said that she felt like about me, how I was able to go through the emotions, the depression, the anxiety, and able to come through it, and able to get to a point to where I could feel good about myself. And which means a lot, because it's funny, because when I used to live and work at the Grand Canyon, one of the most coolest things in the world to be able to see was the American bald eagle. They're such a beautiful, beautiful animal to watch and to see, and just to watch them just take flight. And I remember, and it's funny, thinking about that eagle, that symbol that she gave me, is that when I was at the Grand Canyon, I saw a mama eagle with her two eaglets. Now the eaglets have already shed their downy feathers, and they were able to fly, and they had their flying feathers and everything like that. But unlike her, they still had their full brown feathers for their heads, where she was had the white head and everything like that. And I remember, because when I saw them, I was surprised. All of a sudden, she just spread her wings and just lifted up in the air with no effort whatsoever, and was just up in the air. And then her chicks, her fledglings, they followed after her, but they were not as graceful. So they were just, flapping, trying to get up in the air and catch up with mom. And they finally caught the wind, and they were up. And it reminds me of my journey in life, especially going through my emotional journey with my depression and my anxiety. How when I started this journey, I was like that fledgling eagle, just flapping, trying to get, first I had my downy feathers and I couldn't fly, and I had to be fed, and I had to really, it just, almost helpless. And then as I got, more therapy and more help, and my mind started getting clearer of the things that happened in my life, and how those were issues in my life, but they're not what defines me of who I am now. They may have defined me back then, and they are part of my life, and part of what makes who I am, but they don't define me as who I am today. So once I was like that fledgling eagle, just barely getting out of the nest, barely trying to get in the air, but now I am that eagle who just spreads the wings and just takes off and just soars in the sky. And that's awesome. That I have that feeling, and I feel it's weird, because I don't normally say this about myself, but I'm proud of myself. I'm proud of of where I've been, and the journey that got me to where I am now. And I'm proud of where I'm at. Yes, I would like to be in a little bit better circumstances instead of being in a studio. I would love to be in a 1-bedroom apartment. I would love to be actually in a condo with a 2-bedroom apartment, so that way my son could stay and live with me every once in a while. and have his separate room. But that's not what it is today. I live in a studio in a what's known as a Catholic Charities apartment building, and it's subsidized. So I do pay a lower rent than what's the norm for my area. But still, it's a blessing to me, and I'm glad I am where I'm at. I still have some physical disabilities. I have to walk with a walker now, but I'm up and about. I'm not afraid of going outside because who the hell is going to kind of abduct, a 365-pound man who obviously doesn't have money, and so life is good. I can't complain. I get my groceries delivered from Walmart. I make my own food. I make my breakfast, I make my lunch, I make my dinner. Some of it's not the healthiest stuff, but damn it. If it tastes good to me, well, then it tastes good to me, and that's what matters. Granted, I am trying to get better at eating better so that way I can lose some weight. Don't like being all this heaviness, but it is where I am right now. It's, things happen. So anyway, that's where I'm at today. I'm glad that even though I can't see anyone who's out there, who's if there's chats going on, stuff like that. If you're watching, I appreciate it very much that you're watching me being live, and love you. And don't have a signature out, so let's just see you later. And for those of you who know about Matt Rogers, Rant Wars is at 4 o'clock or 4:30 today. So tune in to Rants with Rogers on YouTube. And if you can join in, if you have a rant or if you have a rave, join in. The competition sometimes is fierce. I'm currently tied in 3rd or 4th place right now. And do it. Be there. Looking forward to being part of the Rant Wars today. Anyway, Robert Reyes is out and about and enjoying life. Take care, everybody.